Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to do this video because today's been kind of an irritating day. But they're just saying things I struggle to understand. Because I know no two people are the same. And apparently no two people think and react the same. But just some of the stuff that I've encountered, it's just incredibly stupid to me. I'm like, I just don't get it. And here's the first one. I got a neighbor that's across the alley, and he spends like 95% of his day hanging out with his friends. Now, the problem with that is he's a 50-year-old man. He's not 16, 18, trying to figure out what he's going to do with his life and his friends. These are grown-ass men that apparently don't have anything to do. And one might say, well, Morris, man, you know, why are you concerned about that? Why is that any of your business? I'm going to tell you why. You say to yourself, you don't care what other people do as long as you're not affected by it or you're drawn into that. Because as a result of all this hanging out about 2 years ago, I look out my window and I see this guy pull up in front of my car. And I thought it was kind of odd because the people at the next door to me had since moved. So I'm like, who's he coming to visit? So he got out his car, young guy, tall, had a hoodie on in the summertime. You know, red flag. He proceeds to walk across my lawn, pulls out a gun, and starts shooting at the dudes across the street from me. That's why I'm concerned. You know, if he wouldn't have been there with his group of loser friends with nothing to do in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, that would have never happened. So that's why I'm concerned. I'm forced to be concerned about this. You know, even though I don't want to, I'm like, that's your business. But when you draw me into it and the next day I'm picking up gun case shellings off my sidewalk in front of my house, yeah, I have an interest in what you do over there because it affects me. So all day long throughout the day, these dudes just hanging out. It's like, what is this, the 80s for you guys? So this morning, I dropped my wife off at the train station. And when I got back, one of the boyfriends, because I call him that's his boyfriends because he spent more time with them than the woman he's living with. So I'm going to try to make this make sense. You know, his street is going south. This is north, that way. So the boyfriend comes up to side of my house, and then he pulls up. No, he turns on the gap block. He's on the opposite side of the street. Then he does this configuration, figuring around, turning around to park in front of his house. I'm saying to myself, why did you just go around the block, come up, and then park in his space? You know, what's with this big production of parking? And this had to be about 9 in the morning. So he pulls up, bags all in, which makes no sense. And then he's in front of the house. So I sat there, I wonder who's going to get out this car? I kid you not, I sit there about 15 minutes till I couldn't stand there no more in the window. I got to pee, then I got to check, and do some things in the washroom. So nobody emerged from the car. So this guy pulls up 9 in the morning, sits in the front of another man's house for over 20 minutes, and nobody moves. Nobody gets out the car. Nobody comes out the house to go greet this dude. So I'm like, that makes no sense to me. What is the purpose of this? So then about an hour later, I had to go to the post office. So I get in my car, and as soon as I pull off, that car pulls off. So I'm like, so that guy been sitting in the car for over an hour, you know? So then I'm gone for an hour. I come back. I pull in my spot. He's back again at this guy's house pulling in too. I'm like, this makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And here's another one. I recently bought a newer model truck because my car's about almost 20 years old. I love my car. I mean, my car has not given me any problems. Nothing major, nothing. Just replace the tires, replace the battery. That's it. Now, there's some things that are kind of, failing now, like one side on my passenger side door on that side, the back seat, the door don't work anymore. And that's because of the winter thing. But I ain't going to go into that. But other than that, and then I had some fool hit my car and damage my front driver's door while I was having breakfast with Joe about 2 years ago. You know, I come back out, me and Joe, and the guy apparently was in there having breakfast too. Couldn't drive, tore my shit up, and I was pissed. But other than that, my car runs great, and I got car shoe because I'm like, I'm gonna keep my car as long as I can. My little tiny kid looking at me. She opened her ass 2 days ago. Hey, little fella. I was kind of forced to buy another car, but like I said, I got car shoe because I want to keep my car as long as I can. I love my car. So here are some of the features on the new car that makes no sense to me. First one is this. Everybody that goes to the store, and when you go by yourself, instead of your family or your wife, it's just you. Most of us do this because it makes sense to do this. We get out our car, we go into the store, we buy our grocery, then we bring our grocery back. Now, what most of us do at this point is we take our key, open up our driver's door because there's no other individual locks on cars like there used to be. It used to be 4 locks, now it's just 2. So you put your key in the door to open your door. And also, since you got grocery, you want all your doors to open so you can put your grocery in the back seat. I don't know too many people that go around their car when it's just them to put grocery in the passenger seat. They usually put it in the back seat directly behind their seat. Now, when you stick your key in there to open it up, it pops open, of course, the driver's door. It opens up the passenger door, and it opens up the door behind the passenger seat. It does all that, but it doesn't open up the fucking door that's behind your seat, which is where you want to put your grocery. Like, what kind of shit? So then I got to either go all the way around and open up with my key the the passenger side, because for some bizarre reason, if I'm coming to the car first, like when my wife is with me and I open up the door for her, of course, at first, I put the key in the passenger side, turn the lock, all the locks open, even the one that I can't get open when I need it to open to put grocery in. And I'm like, what is the purpose of, why does that lock doesn't open? But yet, if I put my key in my back, to open up the hatchback, all the locks open then. Also, that door opens up too. That makes no fucking sense to me. I'm like, who designed this shit? Don't they realize that when you come from the grocery store and it's just you put your grocery directly behind you? You don't go around your car and put it in the passenger seat or the other door behind it. That makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. And then here's another one. Say, for instance, it's in the middle of the week at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's summertime. It's beautiful outside. You put your key in the ignition. Then you turn your car over. Headlights come on. Why the fuck do I need headlights in the middle of the day? And actually, when you turn on the car, the headlights come on all the time. Which means at no point in time when your car is idle or on, you can get the lights to turn off. Because here's the problem with that. In the wintertime, when you go out there to warm your car up, I don't turn my headlights on. I turn my headlights on when I'm about to drive up out of here. I don't want my headlights on as soon as I get in the car. Like, say, for instance, now since it's dark in the morning, I'm sitting out there at 5 in the morning with headlights on. I don't want nobody to even know that I'm in my car at that time of the morning. But they're tipped off because the fucking headlights are on. Like I said, during the entire time when your ignition is on, your fucking lights are on. And I'm like, I wish, for one, I don't understand that. I'm like, maybe it's for extra senile people that don't turn their lights on. But they used to have a feature in the car where you get in your car, you turn it on, you drive off, or it's dark. There's some type of sound indicator to let you know your headlights are not on. But you could see that, And I'm like, I don't want my lights on all the time when I'm idle. Just like a good example, when I go to the train station to pick up my wife. I sit there maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I want my lights out. But if I got my engine on, the lights on. It's just retarded shit. I'm like, you should be able to override that nonsense because that makes no fucking sense to me. If it gets to the point that I keep forgetting and can't remember to turn my headlights on, it's time to stop driving, okay? I don't need that reminder, so we ain't going to let you worry about that. Let me worry about that. Let me turn my fucking lights off even when I got my engine idled. Because again, I don't like sitting out and got my engine going and I got my lights on. It's not a good, matter of fact, to me, I look at it as it's not a good security feature because, You know, you got people carjacking people now, and they look up and see you sitting in your car and your headlights on to indicate somebody in the car. You know, they come over there and stick a gun in your face, try to take your car. So they're just things that makes no fucking sense to me. They just don't make any sense to me. You know, that car thing don't make any sense. My neighbor next door, friends, and their behavior don't make any sense. They're sitting in that car 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, for what? What are y'all doing over there on a daily basis that you hanging out with this 50-year-old ass old man, you know? You got that much idle time in your life that you can spend half of your day with another dude sitting there doing nothing? But again, that's none of my business, but it became my business when as a result of them hanging out over there, they're attracting other people that could do harm and damage to somebody else that ain't got nothing to do with over there. That's why I'm concerned. You know, I don't want to come off as this old nosy dude just looking up at people. I'm not. I can care less what they do. But when I'm drawn into this unwillingly, I got a problem with that, you know, because there's nothing that I do in my world that affect other people in a negative manner. None whatsoever. You know, nobody can say, well, as a result of Morris man doing this happened to me. That ain't gonna never happen. No one's ever gonna say that. You know, but today just been kind of a frustrating day because I've been to the post office 4 times today. Mr. Pritchard, your package will go out tomorrow because I tried to ship it off today and the system was down, which is no fault of the people that work at the post office. So the 3rd time I went out, on the 4th time I said, you know what, let me go to the other one that's in the other town. It's not too far away, but I want to get this package off. I get over there 10 minutes before closing. I want to, you know, tracking on this with a lady that does that. She had been here since the day opened. We opened this morning, so she left 2 hours ago. So who can do this? Nobody. Then she's like, well, there's another post office a little further. They stay open to 7. Who's to say that if I go over there now that they don't? You know, so I'm like, you know, it'll just go tomorrow. So today has been a very frustrating day. You know, and you have days like that. It's like, well, just, you know, things don't fall in line or in place as they normally do on a good day or a regular day. You know, but that car thing, the headlights on all the time when the car engine's going. I can't turn this shit off. No. And I'm in the middle of the day and I'm idle now. I don't want to drive off right now. So can I turn? No. The headlights just got to stay on the daytime. That makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. None. Can't override it. You know, you sitting there, again, when your car engine is going, your headlights are on. You can't turn them off. Some bullshit. Nonsense. Till next time, take care.